let's get on to this Jonathan Major stuff, y'all. The plot has thickened. The plot has thickened. However, before we can get into the twists and turns of this, let me first say, if you are not caught up with the Jonathan Major situation, I have plenty of videos going through the news, going through the facts, going through what we know, and going through what we don't know. So you can go catch that on my other videos. We'll be here for another 3 hours if I go through the whole list of all the ups and downs. So please go refresh yourself on the other stuff. I might briefly talk about it here and there. But I'm assuming right now that you've already watched it or you've kept up with this in the meantime. It has been vitally important, and I've stressed this, I don't know how many times, that we need to wait on information. And ever since this story has come out, the second TMZ reported it back in, godly, how long has it been? March or whatever. Misinformation has gone through the roof. People have said things that ain't true. It's been a nightmare. So I have done my best to at least show y'all what is true, what's not true, what's been reported, what's hearsay, what's possible. Again, I've also iterated, I am not a lawyer, okay? I'm just trying to take my time to read through sources, to read through the actual articles, because I understand sometimes, and it happens to the best of us, we skim through stuff and we don't take the time to really read everything. So let's deal with oh, and also, if you are new here, I am not taking any sides with this. Let me say that again. I'm gonna have to talk to some people like Dr. Umar. I am not taking any sides in this case. Again, I am not taking any sides in this case. Why? Because I don't have all the information. Why? Because I don't have all the information. And I would implore many of you, now again, I don't care what side y'all fall on. I would just implore y'all to actually be informed with whatever opinion you take. Don't go out there being uneducated. Don't be out there flaunting ignorance. Be as informed as possible with whatever direction you go in. But right now, I don't have an opinion on whether this brother is guilty or if he's innocent, because to date, the vast majority of the information that we have heard has only been on the lawyer side, on his lawyer side. We've only heard that one side. And like I've told y'all earlier, if y'all only heard the prosecution side and nothing else, you would think he was guilty. If you only heard the defensive side, you would easily think he was innocent. So all I'm saying is, wait for the information before you jump to any conclusions. Now, if you want to jump to a conclusion, that's fine. At least be informed with the right information first. So, with that said, there has been a huge fake news thing that has been flying around, and it pains me that so many people have been flying with it. I've been seeing news articles fly with it. I've been seeing people reshare it. I've been seeing, I'm not going to name no names, but I've seen popular TikTokers be like, man, I've done my due diligence. I've read through all this information, and they still quoted misinformation. Oh, but anyway, this is the main one that was getting a lot of people in a chokehold. It was really messing y'all up. And this was the idea from this tweet, one of the tweets anyway. In a massive turn of events, Grace Jabari, aka the alleged victim, has been arrested for assaulting Jonathan Majors. Majors' case on innocence has been backed by video evidence. First and foremost, please watch out for where y'all are getting y'all information. Okay. This is no disrespect to whoever this comic oddity. I don't know who they are. But if y'all gonna get information, please don't let it be from some random Twitter site. That includes me. I'm saying that too. I ain't nobody. Okay. But I don't sit here telling y'all information without showing y'all where I got it from. Did y'all notice? Not a single source, not one source, not one link was provided here. But my goodness, people ran with this information all day. Not only did they run off of this, But they also saw, and I saw a couple of y'all. I think it was I ain't gonna name no names because I don't want no news outlets to come and get me. But I saw some prominent news outlets also say Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend arrested. She was arrested. And I sat here, and here's the thing that I want y'all to learn how to do. When you see an article, I know headlines can be sensational. That's the point, to get your attention. Click on the article. When you click on the article, I want you to go to the second, maybe third paragraph. In the second or third paragraph, you're going to see a hyperlink. Usually, that hyperlink is going to link you to the source where they got the information, unless this was an exclusive and that outlet actually, reported it. If you don't see a link for the source in the third or second paragraph, go all the way to the bottom of the article and see if there happens to be a source listed. If you don't find a source, and if it's not an exclusive, go find the information somewhere else. Try to find out if this is actually real. I know it's more legwork, but y'all, in this world where they are not saying things accurately, it's to your best interest to do it. I've messed up too in the past, so I'm not blaming nobody. I'm just saying, if it sounds too good to be true, sometimes it takes a little bit. It's worth the time to go verify this. Now, this same outlet, by the way, went ahead and apologized. I apologize for misinforming that an arrest had officially been made, and however, but it's likely blah blah blah. So yes, good for them. I'm a shout out to them for at least apologizing for it. They have also deleted that original tweet. This tweet no longer exists, except internet. I keep receipts, but that also got done for. But look at this. You have outlets like this. Jonathan Majors redeemed as ex-girlfriend is arrested. That's fake news. That's not true. His girlfriend was not actually arrested. Now, let's get down to the actual news. Matter of fact, this was reported right after that. Jonathan Majors update as police deny accuser was arrested by the New York police. The department has confirmed to Newsweek. So this is Newsweek, and they confirmed directly to this outlet. So this is a primary source. They confirmed to Newsweek that the woman who was accused, that was assaulted by Jonathan Majors, allegedly following his claims that she assaulted him first, and said that investigation into the matter is ongoing. So she has not been arrested. They did say that she has not been arrested. So y'all can drop that. Okay, drop it. She has not been arrested. Now, let me go through the information that confused a lot of people that made them believe that she got arrested, because that's not what happened. Now, some people were asking me before in the comments, why are you using Insider as an outlet? The reason why I go to Insider is because Insider, just like how Newsweek directly went to talk to the NYPD to verify that she was not actually arrested, Insider has been working directly with Jonathan Majors' lawyer, and they've looked at the evidence, and they are a third party. They are an objective outside source. Now, I don't know if they are pro Jonathan Majors. I don't know if they anti Jonathan Majors. I don't believe that there's any evidence to suggest that they have any bias. Last time I checked, they're not owned by Jonathan Majors, and I don't believe Jonathan Majors is paying them. But at the same time, if his lawyer is talking to them, that's a second pair of eyes that can verify what we've heard. And I've told y'all, just because you hear one side of the story does not make that all true. Some things can be true, but it's not the whole story. So just kind of keep that in mind. But this is the article that really got people in fits and confused folks. I've highlighted most of it, so y'all don't have to read everything, but I'm gonna tell y'all why this has been the case. Now, one thing here, Majors has sworn in an affidavit that a drunk and hysterical Grace Jabari slapped and scratched him on the night they fought. Police found probable cause for an arrest, but the case was put on hold by prosecutors. Okay, so let's go into this. It says Marvel Jonathan Majors has filed an NYPD domestic violence complaint against his assault accuser and ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari, in which he alleges that she attacked him, not the other way around, during a March 25th dispute on a Chinatown street corner. So what does that mean? That means that basically Majors has flipped the tables. Now we have a plot twist here. She said that he basically attacked her, and he was like, nah, you did that to me. And he went and filed a complaint with the NYPD to to put this on record. Now let's get more details on what happened. According to the domestic incident report and sworn affidavit, this was obtained by insiders. So this outlet got a chance to see this report. This is not coming from the lawyer directly. You get a second pair of eyes on this. Now, here's what it said. A second NYPD precinct. So not the initial police department, but another one, and the one that covers Major's penthouse address in Manhattan neighborhood, is also involved in investigating the actor's counterclaims against Jabari. So this means that it's not the first NYPD precinct, but a second one has been involved, and they are the ones that are looking into Jonathan Major's claim against the alleged victim. Okay, so now you have two precincts in the mix. Both precincts, both of them, found probable cause to arrest Jabari and issued what is called an incident card or an I-card. It's an electronic device or document that directs police to take Jabari into custody, at least for questioning, according to Major's defense attorney and a law enforcement source. So again, they have this thing called an I-card. The last time I tried to research this, it's almost like a warrant, right? But all it says is that, we have reason to go ahead and arrest you and at least bring you in for questioning. That's how the I-card works. What's important here is that not only did this information come from Jonathan Major's lawyer, but it also came from a law enforcement source. We don't know what that source is, but it's at least being corroborated by two sources. Okay. Now, here's the kicker. But Manhattan prosecutors who are pursuing the case against Majors were, for some reason, reluctant to turn the tables on Jabari, and the district attorney's office urging the I-card was deactivated. So, even though these two police precincts saw enough reason in the complaint to go after Jabari and say, yes, we have reason to go arrest her, the DA, who works with the police, said, nah, we're not going to pursue that. It's not going to happen. Remember, the DA can follow or decline pressing charges on people. They are the ones that work with the police. They can pursue things or they can back off. And this makes sense for the DA and the prosecution, because why would they sit here and arrest the person's claim that they're actually using? That would compromise their own case. So it makes sense why they wouldn't go after the person whose claim they're using against Jonathan Majors. Now, if the police didn't have to worry about the DA, if they didn't have to worry about the legal stuff, they would just go ahead and arrest, Jabari because of the claims, right? You make a claim, it sounds good. And Jonathan Majors, by the way, he did provide evidence. He did provide pictures of the wounds and stuff like that. And hey, at that point, he is claiming to be a victim, right? So he's claiming to be a victim. They would be like, yo, just like anybody else. Just like if any other person walked in, had pictures of wounds, and said, hey, I'm the victim, go find this person, the police would be like, well, we gonna go get that person. We gonna go arrest that person because we have enough probable cause to do so. But right now, I don't know how the iCards work. The DA was like, nah, deactivate that. We're not gonna pursue that. That's up to the DA to make that decision. Now, I should also mention this, and we'll get to this later. It's confirmed later. The reason why Grace Jabari is not arrested is because she's not in the United States. She's actually still in London. So what that means, like I said, the iCard kind of works like a warrant. If she comes back to the United States, now the police could go after her. They could. Now, I don't know if the DA is like, nah, it's deactivated, it ain't gonna happen. But the reason why she's not arrested is because she's still in London. So again, she's not arrested. Let's go on to some more information here. The DA's office has repeatedly pushed back against investigating or charging Jabari despite supporting evidence that includes surveillance camera footage of the street dispute and photos of Majors' injuries. And this is what the lawyer told Insider last week. The DA's office declined comment, and the NYPD did not immediately respond for a comment. Now, it also says in Jonathan Majors' domestic incident report, Majors alleges that Jabari had attacked him on prior occasions, though none were reported, including a verbal dispute in London that became physical. Okay, that's what he put in his report. Let's see. On the incident report, Major says that he did pull away from Jabari as she grabbed for his face, coat, and phone. At another point, he admits, this is careful, listen to this. He admits that when their fight spilled onto traffic, he hoisted her back into their chauffeured black Cadillac Escalade. This is according to Jonathan Majors on the report. I was worried she would be hurt by traffic, so I physically picked her up and put her in the car. This is why I'm telling y'all, be careful with the information that y'all run with. By Jonathan Majors' own admission, he picked her up and put her in the car. Okay? He's admitting to this. Personally, I don't know why his lawyer allowed him to say that. Because, and I've told y'all this before, we do not know how the prosecution, how the DA, we don't know their strategy. We don't know their evidence. We don't know what angle they're going to use. We don't know what they're going to charge. So they could sit here, the DA, the defense, they could sit here and talk about, oh, nothing happened in the club and oh, nothing happened. They could talk about all that, but we don't know what the prosecution is actually going to attack with. For all we know, the prosecution could say, yeah, we know that nothing happened in the car. We know that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm speculating. How do we know that they might not say you caused harm when you pushed her in the car? That you, by the way, just admitted to. We don't know that. That might be what the DA is going for. This man literally admitted to picking this woman up and pushing her into a car. And depending on the charge, his intention, even if they're well intended, might not matter. So, by the court of law, you have to kind of see how they're going to play into it. Now, there might be a caveat. I'm going to show y'all this in a minute. But all I'm saying is we don't know the DA's angle yet. So that could be something to pay attention to coming up soon. Now, let's keep moving on. This is a somewhat updated article. It also says here that the NYPD is taking seriously Major's claim that his ex injured him during a dispute, not vice versa. And the London-based Grace Jabari can now be arrested if she returns to the U.S., and that is according to Insider. Says the NYPD now seeks to arrest the ex-girlfriend of Jonathan Majors and charge her with assaulting the actor. The electronic document authorizes police to arrest her on suspicion of third-degree assault if she returns back to the U.S. Was there something else? Yes. Majors told the police that Jabari scratched his arm and dug her thumbnail into his face, causing his chin to bleed. He gave investigators timestamp photographs of his injuries as well. So he's backing his stuff up for his claim. Let's see here. According to the New York Times, let's see. It says here about the iCard. The iCard, which appears in a department database, is different from an arrest warrant, which is typically signed by a judge, but it alerts officers that there is probable cause to arrest Ms. Jabari. Brad Edwards, a lawyer for Ms. Jabari, said that there was no reason to arrest her and that he had seen nothing reliable indicating that any agency has developed a different opinion. So this is probably one of the first times we've actually heard from a lawyer from the alleged victim. And they're saying that they haven't seen anything reliable to substantiate this iCard. I don't know about those pictures that Jonathan Majors submitted, but they're saying they ain't see that. Okay, now we're finally getting at least a little bit on the other side. At least we're hearing something. It says here a police spokesman said only that the investigation into the incident was continuing and no additional arrests had been made. Okay, no additional arrests. Now, it does say here in domestic disputes, the parties often accuse each other of assault. And in New York, law enforcement authorities are legally required to identify the primary aggressor. So I think what this can mean here is the reason why they went after Jonathan Majors and not so much Grace Jabari. I'm assuming that they mean that they think he was the primary, even though he's claiming she was the primary. And I'm pretty sure in a lot of these situations, it's always going to be he said, she said. So that's going to be up to the police to determine. I don't know. We don't have any information about who started it or what, but that's pretty typical with these situations, at least according to this. Now, this is also important, and this is what I've been telling y'all. Prosecutors, the DA, typically do not discuss cases publicly. So it is unclear what evidence the district attorney's office might possess to counter Jonathan Majors' lawyer's account, or whether it will even prosecute Miss Jabari if she is arrested. Like I've been saying, y'all have no idea what evidence the prosecution has or does not have. Again, this is why you do not need to jump to conclusions, because we don't know what has been discussed. Now, it's in Jonathan Majors' best interest. It's in his best interest that his lawyer air out all this stuff. It is a wonderful strategy to sit here and say, look at this video, look at all this evidence. We got all these eyewitnesses. That is good for Jonathan Majors because it's PR damage control. We've already seen Jonathan Majors' whole image has been corrupted by just the mere accusation. The brother has lost his PR team. This brother has lost his ads, his movie deals. A lot of stuff, damage has been done. So it makes sense for his defense lawyer to release all this information and to accuse and use the racial card in this case. Why? Because it works in the court of public opinion. The court of public opinion can help salvage his image going forward, even if he's guilty. If he's guilty, that court of public opinion can still salvage his career. If he's innocent, that court of public opinion can still uphold his image moving forward. So you have to understand how this game gets played. It's chess, not checkers. His lawyer is playing chess. They're saying, like, whether you guilty or not, we gonna get a lot of people to jump on board. We know a lot of people don't like the police. We know that the police the system of policing has a long history of being racist. So we're going to play all of these cards. You know what's a good look? Let's put a nice, fine black woman on your arm. These things, I'm not saying they're good or bad. I'm saying they do work to his advantage, to helping him protect his image. Okay? That's just how the game is being played. The defense plays a game and the prosecution plays a game, but we don't know what moves the prosecution is going to use. So let's keep moving on, because I've told y'all a couple other things that, now granted, the timing of all this stuff is interesting, because right when you think, hey, Jonathan Majors filed a case, boom, he's fighting back. Then all of a sudden you start hearing other things that get reported. And we're going to talk about those other things, that get reported as well. But I did want to just kind of bring this up here too, in terms of the actual case, because I told you I've been looking into the actual case. This is the case. Y'all can look it up too. It's, his actual case in the New York state court system. And, there are some details with some of the charges that are against him. Now, all of them are not misdemeanors. Okay, so like this right here, I don't believe is a misdemeanor. This harassment stuff. The top charge is about assault, physical injury, and one of them was let me see here. It was penal law 120002 or whatever. Which one is that? It's this one. No, it's not that one. I'm sorry. It's this one, the top charge. The top charge right here that is still there. So all these other charges, they got dismissed. Why were they dismissed? Those were the charges about him strangling another woman and, or strangling the victim, the alleged victim, but they dropped those. Whatever the reason is, they dropped it. But these are the charges that have stuck. And one of them, this charge right here, assault, recklessly causing physical injury. What this means, or one of the theories behind this. The second theory of this crime is codified in NYPD law or penal law. Instead of acting with intent, meaning it was your goal to cause a physical injury, if you act recklessly and cause substantial pain to another person, then you have violated this law, this code. So I'm trying to help y'all understand what's being charged and what's being defended against. The top charge right now is that Jonathan Majors acted recklessly, so it doesn't matter whether he was trying to save her life or whatever. They're saying that he acted recklessly in assaulting this woman. And keep in mind, he did admit that he pushed her into the car. This is one of the reasons why I was saying it might not matter what happens after they got into the car, because maybe the DA is going to say, no, you put hands on her before you got into the car, and that is the evidence we're going to go off of, and you literally just admitted to it. Maybe that's what they're going to go with. Now, what is interesting about this is it does say that you do have to show that you've caused substantial injury. As we've seen in the video evidence, as we've seen from the lawyer from Jonathan Majors, she has gone out of her way to demonstrate that no real substantial injury was done after they got into the car. Maybe that works. So maybe that actually works. If you can show that, hey, I did not or my client did not cause substantial injury, that could be all the jury needs to see. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how that's going to work, but the prosecution might use the fact that you pushed her in the car, you put hands on her, and the defense is like, but he didn't cause no injury. All right. Maybe that works. Maybe. It also, let me see. I also got this here. It says here, what is reckless assault? Understanding the New York Penal Code. This is the same law that I was talking about. No matter the assault allegation, for a misdemeanor complaint to proceed, there must be some form of physical injury. This injury must constitute substantial pain. So, if there ain't no pain, there ain't no gain. Right? So, again, this is going to be on Jonathan Majors' lawyer, which I think they're going out their way to try and prove that there is no substantial injury. And it's going to be on the prosecution to prove that whatever injury, whatever assault you're trying to put on Jonathan Majors, you have to prove that it actually caused this alleged victim substantial injury. All right, so now we got that understanding with the code and the law and all of that. Okay, we got that under control. But of course, this story is not going to be without its fair level of mess unless you had another plot twist come into the mix. And let me just say right now that this is something that we did talk about last time, which was there were a number of people that was reported, a number of women that I think Variety reported this, that they were working with the DA. We don't know to what capacity they're working with the DA. We don't know what these alleged women or victims said to the DA. We don't know that yet. Okay. We don't know what evidence they might have provided to the DA. We don't know what testimony they might have provided to the DA. We just know that they are working with the DA right now in accordance to this case. However, and I've said this before too, one of the worst things that could happen to Jonathan Majors for his case is if you start getting more people to jump on and bring either more evidence or more witness testimonies or whatever. I'm just saying, again, whether he's guilty or innocent, it's going to make the case harder when you have to deal with more people involved. And unfortunately for Jonathan Majors, it looks like more people are getting involved because apparently, according to this new Rolling Stone article, Jonathan Majors' extreme abuse allegedly is going back almost a full decade. Now, this is a very, very long article. I would recommend that y'all read it for yourself if you're interested. I've tried to highlight as much as I can, and I will try to skim as much as I can for y'all and get y'all the meat and potatoes of it. But it is very, very long. It's very long. So just in fairness, I will go ahead and go and read most of it here. It says during this 3-month investigation. So this has been going on for 3 months, ever since March. During a 3-month investigation, Rolling Stone spoke with more than 40 people who have known Jonathan Majors during his time in graduate school, his Hollywood career, and his romantic relationships. Many describe Majors as being a complicated, unpredictable, and sometimes violent man who can switch from charming to cold in a flash. All of the sources for this article requested anonymity, citing fear of career repercussions and personal retribution from Majors. Some claim they are prohibited from speaking. One person said here, my only response can be that I am silenced by an NDA that Jonathan Majors had me sign. Okay. So before people come in saying, why don't these people speak up? Why don't they do that? Because sometimes you sign an NDA. And the NDA means you can't talk or else you get sued. So there's that. Sometimes there is a genuine fear behind speaking up against people that happen to have more power than you. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm already a little iffy at why you got people signing NDAs. Like, that's the first thing. Again, I'm not saying Jonathan did anything. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying why you got an NDA. That's first. Second, let's not act like, and I'm not comparing Jonathan Majors to this person at all. What I am comparing is power versus individuals. There were a lot of people that were very afraid of Harvey Weinstein. No, I am not saying Jonathan Majors is Harvey Weinstein. Please don't be slow and compare what I'm not saying. Don't misconstrue that. What I'm saying is when you have someone that has money, resources, lawyers, all of that, and let's just say you're a struggling actor or you're someone that doesn't have those resources, it is very intimidating to go up against that person if that person did do something wrong. Okay. Once again, I'm gonna talk to y'all like Dr. Umar. I'm not saying Jonathan Majors did something wrong and he's scaring people. I'm saying it is understandable for people that don't have the resources to be afraid of going against someone that they believe has the resources to retaliate or to come back at them in some way, shape, or form. All right. I'm sorry. I have to talk like that for some people because folks will take things, run with it, twist it. Y'all not finna do that to me. Not to me. Don't come in my comments because I will just put the timestamp and let y'all hear it for yourself. Don't come for me now. Whew. All right. Let's get back to it. Jonathan Majors, according to one of the attorney, Jonathan Majors vehemently denies Rolling Stone's false allegations that he physically, verbally, or emotionally abused anyone, let alone any of his past romantic partners. This is coming from another one of his attorneys here, okay? These allegations are based entirely on hearsay because neither of the romantic partners referenced were willing to engage with Rolling Stone for the article, demonstrating their outright falsity. Also, he denies any allegations of abuse, violence, or intimidating during his time at Yale. Okay, so we have Jonathan Majors' other lawyer and attorney saying that, like, yo, y'all lying. It's all cap. Okay, because none of y'all came through with no evidence, no nothing. Okay, cool. That's what his lawyers say. All right. Most seriously, more than a dozen sources collectively claim to Rolling Stone that Majors allegedly abused two romantic partners, one physically, both of them emotionally. It was pervasively known that he was a good actor and that he would also terrorize the people that he had dated. Majors allegedly strangled one woman he was dating and was mentally and emotionally abusive with her. 9 of those sources claim. They basically said that Majors was, quote unquote, emotional torture. That's what one of the second woman said. Friends with the women who were present during their relationships with Majors independently corroborated details of the alleged abuse. What does that mean? That means that independently they went and told Rolling Stone certain facts, certain details that matched up all together. So that's tough. That's tough. If you got 9 people saying, yo, on this detail, this detail, this detail, and all 9 of those people, they details matched up according to this allegation, that's not good. That's not good. I'm just saying it's not a good thing. Now it's still hearsay, right? It's still he said, she said. I'm just saying it's also not good if you got multiple people saying this one thing happened. Maybe they could all be lying. Maybe they could all be telling the truth. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go on. Rolling Stone is withholding the names of the women and the specifics of their relationship as several sources voiced fear that Majors and his team would retaliate against the women. Let's see. One person familiar with at least 2 of the relationships says that it was really upsetting. to hear about this news, and it made them uncomfortable. They've said here that Majors was physically intimidating another while screaming at them, that Majors was physically intimidated another while screaming at them, leading into a complaint to producers. Of course, Majors lawyers basically said that, none of this stuff happened. It's downright false. In a statement to Rolling Stone, Majors' lawyer said everyone who has worked with Mr. Majors knows that he employs an immersive method acting style. And while that can be misconstrued as rudeness at times, those who know Majors and work in the industry have attested to his dedication to his craft as well as his kindness. All right. So, just for the people that don't know, basically, his lawyer is saying that, Jonathan Majors is a method actor. He uses method acting when he goes on, and sometimes people take that as being rude or mean or whatever. What is method acting? Method acting is basically when you stay in character. So, I can give you an example with Jared Leto. Jared Leto is usually a person that is said to constantly do method acting. So, in other words, when he's playing the Joker, when the director says cut, guess what? He's still going to keep acting like the Joker to the people, the cast, the crew. Even he's not going to break character. Jonathan Majors has played a couple roles, especially in his new one, Magazine Dreams, where he plays a very mentally disturbed person. And, there are reports that he didn't break character at all. So, according to the lawyer, he's saying that, all these people that are saying that Jonathan Majors is acting out of pocket or he's acting real rude, well, his lawyer is saying, man, he was just being a method actor. He's taking his job very seriously. Okay, I guess, now I'll be honest, I've never heard of someone using method acting when the character is really good and they go on or go around being like, my character is like a great cook, so I'm gonna cook everybody dinner. I've just never heard that. I've usually heard method acting only being applied when actors tend to go into negative, intimidating, menacing roles. That's the only time I've primarily heard about that. Maybe it helps getting into that mindset, but again, I ain't never heard of Henry Cavill, playing Superman, and he's like, "Let me save you from a burning building." Maybe it happens. I'm just saying, I ain't never heard that. All right, let's keep going. So his lawyers say, this is method acting. Somebody says here, he's kind of a bad dude. And all of this is really just catching up with him. Someone has basically said that was familiar with the situation. It's really extreme abuse, physically and mentally. Allegedly, this has escalated to a point of him strangling a woman. 9 people familiar with their relationship allege this emotional abuse. Though the woman told friends at the time that Majors was never physically abusive with her, she said that there were moments of near violence where he would get filled with rage. The woman told the source that Major would say that he needed to hit something or to punch a wall or something of that nature. Another source says that Majors was controlling with his partners or had intense jealousy. Now, as part of Majors' legal team's response to Rolling Stone request for comment on the abuse allegations, his attorneys sent 6 character witnesses statements from women who Majors had dated and were close with. So Majors' attorney noted in his statement that Rolling Stone was provided these statements from Majors' past, his actual past romantic partners, attesting to his character and the falsity of the charges. But Rolling Stone purposely ignored those facts and red flags and published the false charges anyway. Whoa, okay. So his lawyers are saying, we sent you 6 people that dated Jonathan Majors, and they said otherwise, but y'all decided to go with the negative stuff anyway. They saying you ignoring the positive and you only rolling with the negative. Okay, that's what his lawyer said. Well, Rolling Stone fired back. They said, in fact, Rolling Stone reached out to all 6 people. 3 of them say they never gave Majors' team permission to release such statements. Another woman declined to share the statement credited to her by Majors' team, saying it was pre-written, not truthful, and that she had never approved of this release. One did not respond to a request for comment. Only one woman consented to making her statement public. This was Haley Carter, a woman who Majors dated from age 13 to 18. She described Majors as sweet and kind and gentle. That she drafted in a message in late March. After 20 years of knowing him, I can tell you who Jonathan is. He did not do these things. He is exactly the opposite of what these allegations say. Jonathan is the most self-controlled, disciplined, well-mannered person I know. We call him the peacekeeper. He is not violent in any way. Okay. His lawyer said that they got 6 people and 6 statements that say he's a cool guy. Rolling Stone said, yo, we talked to them 6 people. Half of them didn't even say they gave you permission to release any information. Another one said, half of that stuff, I didn't even say it's not true. The other one didn't want to be reached for comment. And the last one, listen, I told y'all I ain't taking no sides. But the last one dated him when he was 13 to 18. I've been in a couple of relationships myself. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, the relationships I've been in high school, I don't count them as real relationships. The relationships I've had in grammar school, I don't count those as real relationships. Okay? They don't count. I'm sorry. They don't count. Now, this person said that they known Jonathan Majors for 20 years. Okay, that's cool. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, don't be sitting here quoting no high school relationships to me about nothing. Because in my opinion, when people are 13 years old, 18 years old, you're not the same person when you're 21. You're not the same person when you're 25. You definitely not the same person when you're 30 something plus. Okay, you change as a person. I'm not saying that Jonathan Majors has changed into a bad person. I'm just saying he ain't the same person from whatever he was back when he was 13 to 18. Ain't nobody gonna stay the same like that, more than likely, because life changes you when you go from a child to a teenager to a whole adult. A lot of stuff can change. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. So I'm not, listen, don't go ask no ex of mine from high school what E-Man was like. I might have been a jerk. I might have been dumb. I might have been a whole bunch of things. I don't remember. It was high school. That was half of my life ago. I don't remember none of that. Okay. And by the way, if I did anything wrong, I apologize in advance. Don't be coming out, after me. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do it. I'm innocent. But I'm just saying, this ain't the strongest of evidence. 13 to 18, that ain't the strongest. That's all I'm saying. At least there was some positive, though, I guess. Let's keep going. I'm scrolling through a lot of stuff here, y'all. This is a big article. The incidents alarmed his peers enough that they voiced their concerns to the administration several times and told school officials at Yale that they felt unsafe around Jonathan Majors. So apparently there have been complaints about him not being safe while they were in school. It says here, even on the set of Devotion 2022, the costume department allegedly had issues with Jonathan Majors, including an instance where he made costumers cry on set, according to a production source. It said here that it started to become it started to become borderline abusive. Look, I'm gonna just say this. I've told y'all for a long time, allegations are allegations. And a lot of times you're gonna need some stuff. I'm not putting a lot of weight. I'm not dismissing them, but I'm not putting a lot of weight in people talking about emotions. I'm not saying they're not valid. It could be true that Jonathan Majors hurt y'all feelings. That could be true. But I've also said it's not illegal to be a jerk. It's not illegal to be an a-hole. We don't know what these things, like, I don't know what this dude said to them to make them cry. Like, he could have just been like, I'm not wearing this. This is trash. Is that illegal? Is it a crime? I don't know. So all I'm saying is, like, I can't really go off of, made somebody cry. Borderline abusive. Like, I don't know what that means. Did Jonathan Majors put hands on you? Did Jonathan Majors threaten you? Tell me that. If those things happen, okay, we can add that to the list of things to consider. But all the emotional stuff, I know a lot of people that are jerks, but I can't call the police on them. I can't sue them for that. I don't know. I'm just saying I need a little more. But it does say production sources also describe Majors behaving in a way that mirrored the experiences of Yale schoolmates. Jonathan was immediately made aware of the complaint, and he was mortified that he made someone feel bad. So we're hearing here that, like, he felt bad that other people felt a certain way. Now, I should mention that, like, again, I'm not totally dismissing people saying that Jonathan Majors made them feel unsafe or fear or whatever, because that stuff can add to someone's character, right? Like, it's a way to build up a case. It's not like, oh, they made me feel emotionally abusive, boom, case closed. That's not how it works. You can add it on. Like I said, it just doesn't carry as much weight, right? But at the same time, they're saying that, like, yo, Jonathan Majors felt bad that people thought that he made them feel unsafe. That also might go towards his character, that maybe he was stuck in this method acting and he didn't realize the impact that he had on others. I don't know. Again, I don't know. Let's see. Crew members say Majors was method acting for the role, and that before filming, producers gave them a heads up to keep their distance from him. However, 3 sources claim that Majors still made some people uncomfortable and was verbally aggressive, both screaming and cussing at crew members. Oh, Lord. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh, my gosh. Okay. That's it. Woo, guys. That is a long list of ups and downs with this Jonathan Majors situation. This trial needs to hurry up and come. This trial, what is it? It's August 3rd. August 3rd. We got about 2 months. I just need this thing to be resolved. If this man is guilty, just file the charges, throw him away, whatever. If this man is innocent, drop all the charges, poster. I want to see all the headlines say he's innocent. I want to see all these people, like, keep that same energy, give this man his jobs back. But I just need this justice to prevail. This up and down stuff, at the end of the day, this is messy. This is messy. Okay. 1 minute he got 15, 11 different people coming after him. He filing charges. Police say they gonna arrest somebody, but then they don't want to arrest them because the DA don't want to compromise their case. We still don't know what the DA got on him as evidence. We don't know nothing. Oh, it's too much. Y'all let me know. What do you think about the fake news that was happening before? What do you think about the fact that Jonathan Majors is fighting back with the complaint? What do y'all think about the police no longer? The police are taking it seriously, but the DA is not following up on the arrest. And what do you think about all these, alleged allegations about Jonathan Majors' long history of potentially being extremely abusive? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.